Fantastic. No, this is Dimin Tugji.
Hello, New York. Hello. Today, as you know, we're facing great challenges. We are saddled with massive national debt. Economic growth is slow, and unemployment remains unacceptably high. Tragically, President Obama and his team are ill-equipped to deal with these challenges. Even worse, with his agenda left unchecked, he is going to drive our economy over a cliff. Let's do the Obama economic quiz. Are you ready? Are ATMs responsible for high unemployment? No. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. Will making electricity prices skyrocket? Will that create jobs? I didn't hear you. Are greedy doctors willing to cut off your feet because they want to make a buck? Are they responsible for high health care costs? Are they? That's right, you're doing good. The good news, because of people like you, we are taking control and we're getting America back on track. Because of you, the new House majority is actively trying to block the EPA from regulating our economy to death. Because of you, Obamacare is soon going to be debated in the Supreme Court. And another issue very close to my heart, crony capitalist GE CEO Jeff Immelt is feeling the Tea Party heat. Let me share with you a headline from last week's Wall Street Journal. Quote, Tea Party attacks put GE on defense. Thank you. As a leading critic of crony capitalism, I want to thank you for your support. Now, Obama's not working alone. He has a lot of special interest help. The unions, the radical environmentalists, and the progressive politicians are fueling his agenda. As we know, Obama is no fan of free enterprise. He is no fan of capitalism, but our community activist president uses big business for his political ends. What happens when big business joins Obama? Progressives get a bigger government and more control. Big businesses get short-term profit that fuels their bonuses and stock options, and the taxpayer, we the taxpayer, get to pay for it all. Let's not forget, the only reason why we have Obamacare today is because the pharmaceutical industry helped him. He got together, they worked their backroom deal, they got what they wanted. They ponied up $150 million to advertise for Obamacare, and at the end of the day, we got saddled with Obamacare. In the end, the unions, the drug industry, and Obama and the progressives got what they want, and we got to pay for it. Now let's turn to energy policy. Obama is leading the attack on fossil fuels. As we know, when he was running for president, he did make that promise to make electricity prices skyrocket. Great, you're still with me. His first goal was cap and trade. He wanted to take cap and trade to tax energy. And since 85% of our energy comes from fossil fuels, taxing energy is going to be very, very expensive. He also partnered with big business to try to pass cap and trade. Seeking a profit motive, he brought in a huge number of corporate interests to lobby for his agenda. Corporations joined environmentalists to lobby for this trade. General Electric, Johnson & Johnson, Duke Energy, Honeywell, they all lobby for cap and trade. The good news, thanks to people like you, cap and trade died in the Senate.
Thank you, lady.
Thank you. The bad news. Billions have been spent on selling you solar panels and utilities wind turbines. Renewable energy can't compete with cheap fossil fuel industry. They can't compete. So the boot of government is needed to raise fossil fuel prices through legislation, through mandates, and through regulations. After cap and trade failed, President Obama made another promise to get his climate agenda through in chunks. What are the chunks? Well, it's simple. He's using the regulatory agencies to that social end, that economic end. He's reducing supply of fossil fuels, and he's regulating fossil fuels to death. He's delayed drilling in the Gulf of Mexico and in Alaska. He's raising the price of fossil fuels to basically bankrupt the coal industry. As you may recall, Obama did promise that a utility could use coal if they wanted to, but they would go bankrupt under his policies. Now, citizens, let's remember, how much electricity do we get from coal? 46%. To meet Obama's goal, EPA is unleashing an epidemic of regulations. Let me just name a few. The cross-state air rule, the utility MAC rule, the coal ash rule, the greenhouse gas rule, rule after rule. Just two of these rules are going to cost the utilities $18 billion a year. That's going to cost an estimated 12% increase in electricity prices and about 1.4 million jobs by 2020. Nice economic plan, Mr. Obama. We are already seeing the impact of EPA's regulations on the economy. The EPA actions are causing 50 coal-fired power plants to close. 50 was just reported by Reuters news service over the next few years. What's the impact when you close 50 power plants? Well, there's the immediate job loss from all those workers. The secondary effect is Obama is jeopardizing the reliability of our electricity. They're taking off 8% of our electricity from the power grid. That will likely lead to brownouts and blackouts. And the third effect is electricity prices are going to skyrocket. Another headline, electric bills about to spike. These aren't made up numbers, this is reality. In South Carolina, Duke Energy is asking for a 17% increase in utility rates. Why is this happening? Because crony capitalism is at the core of Obama's energy policy. Obama had bet his administration on clean energy. About $90 billion of your stimulus money went to clean energy. Some of those grants and some of those backed loans went to companies who had close political ties to President Obama. Has anybody heard of the company named?
Solyndra.
Solyndra got a loan backed by $535 million. And it was backed by a major bundler and campaign donor of President Obama. General Electric CEO Jeff Immelt is head of Obama's jobs panel. That makes a lot of sense. GE got $126 million in grants and contracts from you. I'm not done yet. Billionaire venture capitalist John Doerr is also on Obama's jobs panel. The companies he's invested in have received hundreds of millions of dollars. Does anybody know who his business partner is? Al Gore. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're bailing out Al Gore. Congratulations. Let me tell you what's really going on. This amounts to a massive wealth transfer. The money from your pockets are being transferred to the government and then into the pockets of crony capitalists and to billionaires. Does that make you happy?
No!
To our friends in Wall Street, it's crony capitalism is the problem, not capitalism.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, patriots, what can be done? First of all, we need to stop the EPA.
Yeah.
And the House of Representatives is taking steps to rein in the EPA. They passed a bill called the Train Act. It wants transparency in government and EPA regulations. They want EPA regulations to be looked at from a cost-benefit analysis with other agencies. They want these analyses to look at the effect of EPA regulation on jobs, on our international competitiveness, on energy prices, on energy reliability, and it also delays two of the most harmful EPA regulations, the Air Transport Rule and the Utility MAC Rule. The great news is it passed. It passed with 249 votes for and 169 against. 19 Democrats voted for it.
Wow.
Only 4 Republicans voted against it. I have bad news for New York. Representative Nan Hayworth voted against the Train Act.
Rhino.
If you think that's bad enough, go on her website, and there was a letter from the radical environmentalists congratulating her for her vote. Hayworth is siding with the radical environmentalists over you. The Republicans are not the only ones, and in the House is not the only ones trying to stop the EPA. 11 governors wrote to EPA asking them to stop these rules. 25 state attorneys general are suing EPA to stop these rules. Why is Nan Hayworth on the other side? Hayworth has fallen for the health card. We've heard of the race card. We've heard of the children card. We've heard of the class warfare card. And there's also the health card. The activists claim that we need these laws to protect us from mercury as a pollutant. Patriots, how much mercury, what's the percentage of mercury coming from coal-fired plants? 2%. 2. You're going to bankrupt our economy for 2%. Where does the rest come from? It comes from natural causes, volcanoes, and the other comes from China.
Right.
So our coal is being shipped over there, and they don't have any protections, and then it's coming over here. That's another great energy policy. So here's our action plan, patriots. We must pass the Train Act. I urge you to contact your representatives. I urge you to contact the Democrats, because they're going to lead the way in the Senate for us to get this EPA blocked. We also need to stop the crony capitalism by going directly after the crony capitalists.
Right.
That means in addition to taking on progressive politicians, we need to step up and challenge the crony capitalist CEOs. Because the answer to this are you, the consumer. It's time to let the CEOs know they will pay a price if they loot us of our property and our liberty.
Right.
And they will change their tune. And here's what you can do. Please go to bigbusinesswatch.org, and there you will find a list of about 30 companies that are lobbying for EPA regulations, that are lobbying for Obama's failed energy policy. Go to bigbusiness.watch, look up those companies. We have emails on there and phone numbers, so take action against these CEOs. They need to hear from you. We also have an online petition for GE CEO Jeff Immelt to resign. He needs to go. Why? Because he's lobbied for stimulus money. He's taken your money. He's lobbied for cap and trade. He lobbied for the incandescent light bulb ban. And he sold infrastructure equipment to Iran. We can't afford to have him running a major corporation. Now, as I end my talk, I have a few questions for you. Are you going to let the crony capitalists destroy capitalism? No! Can I hear you again? No! Are you going to let billionaires like Kaiser and Dorr rob you of your standard of living? No! Are you going to bail out General Electric with their bad bet on renewable energy? No! Are you ready to take action? Yes! Are you ready to take action? Yes! Working together, we can beat back Obama and his crony capitalist friends. God, thank God for you. God bless America, and see you the next time.